Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Barbarian and this is Crusader Kings 2 and we return of course here in our last Iron Man playthrough in CK2 as Zhongjing. Is that correct? Is that incorrect? Please do let me know in the comments. I'm trying to pronounce it as correctly as I can, but I'll be honest with you, I think I will always have trouble, primarily because I never had any contact, linguistically speaking, to the Chinese language. Meaning that, you know, whenever I see the transliteration into Latin, the Latin alphabet, I very much struggle with what they are supposed to symbolize. Zhongjing. Let me know whether that is correct. Either way, I don't think it matters too much because we are infirm. We will probably die in, under a decade. We are in a pretty decent position. I am currently saving up just to get the duchy in this location. As you can see, we're making mad bank. I mean, we're making so much bank, it really doesn't matter when it comes to time, because we are going to get there eventually. We're making more bank than he does, but then again, I think he currently has some mercenaries hired from the looks of it. We're doing quite well. We have had a tremendous start here, taking 4 provinces out of 1 province, and the Panda house has grown. We are now 11 house members that are currently alive, up from 3. So that's quite impressive. Let's keep that up and let's see where we can take it, eh? There you go. My wife is pregnant again, and that is positive and negative. I mean, having more children is more children is more children, but if it is a son, our realm will be split, so I desperately need the duchy here for sure. And oh no! You can't do that to me. I'm incapable. Alright, and this is pretty bad. We got yet another son. Jing Kan. Jing Chan? I don't actually know how that is pronounced. Please do let me know in the comments, but this sucks. Because now we have a 0-year-old, we have a 3-year-old giant, and our realm will split. I sadly do not have the money right now to actually create the duchy, so let's just hope that I get the time to do that. So even if we split, I will be in a position of holding on to everything together. Because if we don't, then man, that would be quite painful. I need to hold on until then. Incapable doesn't really make it easier to live. -3 health. My god, why would you be so cruel, dear world? Oh, and we actually finally made it. Would you look at that? My sister, of course, our, dear regent right here, was smart enough to save up some money and then make it so that we would proclaim ourselves as the Duke of Khotan, making it so that our realm wouldn't actually be split once we finally pass away, because at the very least, they would be underneath the new Duke. And by the way, I love the way that Taoism, and I learned that Taoism is not pronounced Taoism, it is Taoism. I love that Taoism gets these sigils. You see them so very rarely. I really want to hang on to Taoism. Whether we can actually do that, I'm not entirely certain, but I will do my best. Now, with that being said, I should now have access, if I'm not mistaken, I should now have access to centralization laws, and indeed I do, but I'm in a regency, so no hope for that. Man, it's just a whole lot of hanging out now, isn't it? There you go. We have died and we have inherited. We are now Tupo Zhang. We're now Shifang, quite the young character. He is 6 years old, going to be educated in struggle. That was one of the last things that my court still managed to do. Now let me just take a look at this. This is now ruled by Ngapo Zhongkan. Alright, so Zhong Shifang is now in control in Khotan. Of course, his brother is ruling over here, probably by some viewed as the legitimate heir, seeing as their brother, of course, is actually a product out of our marriage. We are merely the child of a concubine, both of which, of course, still around to this day. But we're now in a position where I'm not entirely certain that I should be happy with my circumstances. My aunt, so my sister, is back to being, or rather the sister of our father is back to being the regent. That is positive, because I'm sure that the mother of my brother would like to, kill me and put my brother on the throne. But we're fine right now. I think we're doing quite alright. I cannot change the laws. We have to grow up. I mean, that's really all it is, right? We're 6 years old. I would like some more centralization, yada yada. You know the drill. Let's just make do with what we have, eh? Oh wow, that was very quick. They merely just took over the realm and now they already have, droughts, and they are suffering from it. The Great Famine has come all over China, and I guess that makes a lot of sense if you think about it strategically. And when it comes to a country recovering from a civil war like China has to, it's not easy, and it can oftentimes and very quickly actually go wrong, that you all of a sudden have a famine and then suffer for it. Emperor Ji Shizu, I just hope that this does not lead to a civil war primarily, because that, launch a relief expedition. Oh, wow, yeah. I like that idea. For 10 years. I mean, I'm kind of just stuck here anyway for 8 years. Yeah, this is, what? I'm going to launch a relief expedition. As the Jin Empire is suffering from a great famine, you can offer to send a relief expedition to deliver supplies and help the Emperor in maintaining the stability of China. Absolutely. Give me that grace. Anything to please the Emperor. Okay, wait a minute. It is a beautiful day as you make your way down to the local harbor with a handful of servants. You'll be going on a short boat trip today, something that has you very excited. The vessel awaits at the dock, ready to take you on. Alright, let me just... Seriously? You are killing me all on your own? Are you kidding me, Kai-chun? You son of a gun. This is going to be great. Don't know where the Harbour comes from, but I'm dead. I am 8 years old again. God damn it. And he's slothful. Oh, this is just horrible. The little boat sails off and you spend some time alone by the railing, staring down into the deep, murky water. Suddenly there's shouting behind you and the boat flounders, sending you into the cold water. You desperately try to stay afloat, but without knowing how to swim, you soon sink beneath the waves. Wow, look at this port of Khotan. Isn't that incredible? We've been we've been ahead. I'm dead. We've been betrayed. Shifang was a good character, at least he started out like one, but nobody gave the giant a chance, and that just simply sucks. Here we are now, Tupo Jong Kan, and I think we are going to do quite well. We are 8 years old, of course. I would like to have a different guardian. Then again, you know what, he grew up with him, with Yu Ning, so let's just continue being brought up by him. I gotta tell you, it's nice to have 4 out of 1 yet again, but it's not nice to see the circumstances of our death. I liked Shifang for sure. I really did. I've been out fishing for hours, so I still haven't caught a fish as big as that servant's child got yesterday. If I wait long enough, I will become willful, absolutely. I think willful is okay, you know, ambitious, brave, stubborn, those are really nice. Let's see. After a few more hours, I finally feel something bite. It's a huge fish, probably the biggest fish in Khotan. Easiest money in my entire life. Seriously. Okay, and I just noticed that we are now a vassal, not of Tibet anymore, but of Guga. You can see it right here, and we are, of course, still Khotan. I will go... Oh, what happened here? How are you on your own? Because I would love to go against these people, because they are, of course, the Urim mine. They should be right underneath me. There you go, we actually transfer the vassalage. That is so good for us. Alright, we are a child, but we are now much more powerful simply by sitting around, and I think I'm going to go on. And I would like to kind of, you know, push further into Guga. If we could become the king of Guga, even though I'm not too keen on the idea of that, because I don't really want to go too deep into Tibet. I am not going to reform Bern, for example. I would rather make my way west towards the Abbasids. But as it stands, I mean, I can rather rebel against Guga than against Tibet as a whole. So I think this will be an opportunity. As soon as I grow up, I'm 10 years old. By the way, it is on purpose that I do not auto-start plots. It's not on purpose that I fail to see this, the plots, right? But it is on purpose because I, of course, want some action. I want to see, you know, hey, maybe somebody is plotting against me. I'm 8 years old, or rather, I'm 10 years old. I'm not going to see that coming, so that is completely on purpose, if you were wondering. And look at that, we have now entered the next stage of getting educated here. And I'm actually going to change the educator with now, of course, my uncle, I believe. Yeah, my uncle being in control. I'm going to hand this over to my other uncle, maybe. Maybe we should stick to one of these fellows. Ooh, I like this. Way. Absolutely, Wei, please do take control of this, and then we are going to be educated with a martial education. Let's make this happen. Let's become as good an army leader as possible. And what are you doing here? Get out of there. And this is what I want to see. I've read about the great men in history, and someday I want to be like them. I will be the greatest. Gains the trait, ambitious. Let's go. I see a bright future, finally, for one of ours, for this dear child. The trader from Yarkant is in dire need of new pack animals and equipment to be able to continue bringing in goods to our realm. I need to keep this trade route running. In Yarkand, you say? Oh. Who could have established that? Because the way I see this, nobody was ruling except my... Oh, I guess the original ruler might have actually established that. So, yes, I'll keep it running, I guess. Interesting. Yeah, trade route, look at that. It's not bad. I need to keep this trade route running, absolutely. And I will also, I forgot about this entirely, but I will also go ahead and actually establish some, you know, silk trade posts right here. That should be quite beneficial for everybody involved. There you go, we have grown up. Now let's actually see what we become. Oh, a skill tactician, I'll take it. Skill tactician is good enough, in my opinion. Now, we are not smart enough, and that is quite negative. We are not smart enough to actually read the book that we got from China. I think I will focus on scholarship, at least for a moment, because what I want to do is, I want to focus on learning how to become a great ruler. So, let's just focus on scholarship, make it so that I can use this book. What do you mean? Oh, right, it hasn't. There we go. Use this book. Okay, don't scare me like that. And I think then we're going to go on, and I would simply like to go on and acquire a title. But before we get involved in anything else, and I can see, by the way, a lot of wars are going on here. Nothing that is actually relevant to us, but that doesn't really matter. What matters to me is this. I request an imperial marriage. The ones truly favored by Emperor Shizu of the Jin Empire can, one on behalf of themselves or a close relative, request to marry a relative of the Empress. Performing an imperial marriage will grant you 500 prestige as well as give you a peace treaty with China. The spouse of an imperial princess or prince will be able to raise a regiment of honor guards when at war. Yes. Thank you very much. The Protector General of the Chaste Emperor addresses a letter to the chaste Tupo of the Duchy of Khotan. May good health be with you. His daughter, the righteous Princess Bao Ming, will become the bride of Tupo Zhong Kan. We are honored. The arrival of Princess Bao Ming is much awaited. Indeed it is. And now let me just see. Right, until this is over, within the last year. So in 1 year, I'm going to check what else I can request. I want more stuff, just in general. And I will become your steward, yes, but also, let's marry. Divine union. Everyone is amazed by the arrival of the Imperial Princess, Her Righteous Highness Shi Bao Ming. Now, not that she has not been expected. The court in Khotan has been busy with the preparations for weeks. No, they are simply astounded by the grandeur of her procession. While those standing close to you begin to whisper about the silk banners and the gleaming armor of the Imperial soldiers, you have your sight trained on the intricately decorated litter approaching, holding your future wife. Princess Bao Ming's face shines like a sun as she steps down to greet you. Her gaze wanders across the crowd, acknowledging each and every courtier in your personal retinue before locking eyes with you. Murmurs of approval confirm that you are not alone to be struck by the princess's charm. Becoming your husband is a great honor, Chi Bao Ming. There you go. We are now married. We, you know, this marriage will secure a peace deal, of course. We also gain some prestige, and we gain an intricate web weaver, child of a concubine, attractive, master schemer, gregarious, charitable, proud, and deceitful. And she is, of course, a Chinese princess. Now, I am not entirely certain what we can do in these circumstances when it comes, you know, to our possibilities of actually waging war. It doesn't immediately do anything, but I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, admire, of course, this beautiful, beautiful Chinese honor guard that we can now raise. It should be quite easy to win wars with that, and additionally quite cheap. I just need an actual CB. Why can I not? There you go. Let's build an observatory. You have begun the construction of an observatory. It will take some time to collect all the necessary materials and get everything in order. Yeah, I don't know whether this marriage will do all that much for us, but I will make the best out of it. And it already is a pretty decent start, I would argue. I will not become a commander. Get out of here. I will, however, pass a centralization law, absolutely. With China already suffering from the devastating plague, an additional misfortune has struck the Middle Kingdom. The urchins tribes from the Yalu River have united under Great Kagan. A great horde of fierce horse warriors is now crossing into China from the northeast. Clearly, this is no ordinary raid to test the Chinese defenses. Ooh, I don't like it. I hope they don't take over, because I'm relying on the Han, Jin, you know, empire being Taoist, so that I may gain all that free grace. But it is what it is, and now let me just take a look here. When will this end? Because I definitely need to go on and... Ah, will you look at that? We actually got another claim. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, and threatening, and forging documents, I've managed to fabricate a claim on the county of Diskit. Right, the county of this kit shall be ours. He's quite strong, but not strong enough. And with that, I will claim the county, as is my birthright. Let's be entirely open about this. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, why wouldn't I just raise the honor guard here, right? As you, or one of your unlanded dynasty members that are in your court, are married to an imperial princess or prince, you can raise the honor guard to fight for you in your current war. Absolutely. Yeah, that's incredibly cheap. I mean, my god. Barely costs anything. And we have 2k troops. And starting the Viking Age, oh my god, I forgot about them. The centralization of power in Scandinavia, along with a rapid population expansion, has begun to drive its denizens to look beyond their home shores in earnest. New developments in shipbuilding, an adventurous spirit, and a fearless belief in the gods are now taking Norse seafarers across the seas towards distant lands. They arrive as traders, raiders, and conquerors, and they call themselves Vikings. Honestly, borders are looking pretty okay. How are you doing? You're back to being Germanic. Okay, that makes sense. Now, Saxony actually is getting, because they are Norse, boats, meaning there is now a huge realm right here that will have access to boats, at least as far as I can tell. The Avmundsson dynasty, it's King Ragnar Lothbrok himself, so that's going to leave quite the mark, I think. Oh, Asturias, how did you do that? Toledo and Asturias actually exist. That's incredible. They usually die immediately in Conquered and Holy War. I can only assume that this was an actual Reconquista. I'm quite proud of you, I will admit that. That's actually really cool. I really endorse that, no doubt about it. That is very impressive. And we have some Shia rising up over here as well, although there is no Caliph. So that's unlucky for them. That is definitely something that does not help their moral authority. Khalifa Ra'ita the Usurper. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know, the world is crazy, but honestly, it's looking quite alright. I really like this, especially in comparison to the quartered one that we had last time. That was such a pain, my god, to look at. Was such a gigantic pain. And what we're going to do is, I'm now going to go and I'm going to destroy our opponents. Let me just quickly put some body on this one. Yeah, siege, combat, this doesn't actually aid us. Do I have any modifiers? I don't. And I think I need to stop being on your council, my friend. Because I need to be in this battle. I must lead my troops so that I can pick up some wonderful, wonderful traits. You've spent many nights looking at the stars in your observatory. It is truly fascinating. There's so many questions to ask. How do the stars move? Yeah, let's not go the strange out there route. That is okay. Just tell me the wisdom of the stars, so to speak, and I will fight them in the desert. That's okay. We can get that done. And look at that. Damn, my uncle has passed away. He had cancer. He had 2 daughters. That's good for you. Now, you're my new heir, and you are not yet married. I might just do another Imperial marriage, although honestly, like, looking at this, I don't think it's that important. We could hire some strategists. That's always really, really nice. I'm not that interested in an invasion as of right now. We can do that later, if at all. Becoming a strategist, maybe? I mean... Or rather, getting a strategist. Let's just get another artifact. You know what? Why not, right? What do we get? A Jin artwork? What does that do for us? Gives us monthly prestige and monthly Te. Okay, you know what? I'm okay with that. That's fine. Doesn't really do it justice, but that is okay. And now, my dear uncle, you may get married to honestly anyone. Sure, this lady. Let's dunk on these fools down here. There we go. Okay, that's not good. I don't like this at all, but we still won. Yeah, that was horrible tactics from me. I mean, how else do you want me to say? That was very, very bad. But look at all these people here with the siege modifiers. That is huge for the purposes of this war. And, I mean, of any war going forward. There you go, the war's over. This was, of course, a fairly easy one. And now that the war's over, we are looking at having yet another county. And that county, because I am a fair ruler, will go to my wonderful, wonderful uncle. You get this kid, my friend, and as it should be. Working in your observatory, lately you're often frustrated by broken equipment, weeks on end of cloudy weather and frequent interruptions by curious intruders and even animals. It's very hard to maintain concentration and get anything done. I must persist, the truth is out there. Let's go! Diligent, we're no longer slothful. Oh, we are great. And you know what I'm going to use this to actually become a member of the Hermetic Society. I think that is exactly right. I want to know the secrets of the world. Thank you for letting me join, my friend. Ah, and there we go, I have yet another claim. Now this costs so much more money than the claim beforehand, and I don't even think I can push it right now, because yeah, we are indeed in a situation of a truce, but once we take Pangong, I should be able to then at some point either take it immediately or usurp the Duchy of Mayul, making it so that I would become a de jure, you know, vassal of Guge, making it so that I could fabricate a claim on Guge if everything goes well, which now that I think about it, I doubt, because I would be of a different religion, but we'll figure it out. I'll find a way, and we'll try to make this happen. And there you go, you're sure you've made a breakthrough in your studies. Yes, it cannot be otherwise. The Earth is round and it revolves around the Sun. How little we know of the universe. I could publish these findings. I could continue doing this in secret, just becoming a scholar. But you know what? I think we're going to become a very obvious, a very open scholar. We're going to go out there and we're going to make it so that at the end of the day we are recognized for this. I don't think he's particularly zealous. Now he does, of course, you know, adhere to the Taoist principles, but at the end of the day he is kind of driven by the pursuit of knowledge here. He doesn't have a child yet. I am so sad about that. Oh, are you? I didn't even realize that. Look at that. My wife is giving birth. And I'll publish it. Sure. Give me the nickname. Priest-hater. I don't know about that nickname. I don't think that's right. Oh, a claim on the duchy. Yes, please. Thank you so much, Mayor Shu. I appreciate that. That is grand. I'll actually give you, you know what? I'll give you some, oh. I'll give you a title. You're the designated regent. I trust you, my man. The work to create an office in which I can conduct my experience is finally complete. It may not compare to the greatest laboratories of this age, but it will surely help me find the knowledge which I seek. I spent so much money on this. With a laboratory of my own, I can proceed to perform greater works than ever before. How I ever got by without a dedicated workspace and the right tools, I will never understand. The secrets of Hermes, the thrice blessed, shall be mine. Absolutely. Why am I known as the priestess? I actually hate that. Oh god. Not like this. The late nights, the way my wife Bao Ming has stopped touching me or even looking at me, and now the whispers of her and that bloated spider Dadmir Kushizade. I can't take it anymore. How would you do this? How could you do this to me? Bao Ming, I will confront you. Bao Ming got angry when I confronted her about her rumored affair with Dadmir Dabuit, saying she lives in a prison and that I'm denying her even the most basic freedoms. I mean, she's essentially saying yes, right? She just is also saying, why are you treating me like this? So you know what? I do feel guilty, and maybe I can treat you better in the future, my dear wife, but don't cheat on me. Have you ever considered that? Why don't you become my apprentice? We can do... Look at how our visuals changed. We can do so many things together if you're my apprentice. Let's just do that, eh? You actually have to be kidding me. Remember? Do you remember when I said, hey, what we're going to do heavily relies on the fact that China stays Taoist and Han, And how many years are we in? We're 37 years into the game. And granted, in 37 years, we haven't actually blobbed much. But honestly, these games always snowball once you like do something vital. For example, becoming the king of Google. But that's something else. And now China, all of a sudden, is Yurchin. And I gain absolutely nothing. You have to be kidding. You have to be kidding. My wife tells me she's pregnant, but that can't be right, can it? We'll find out, eh? I have thought it over and I cannot be the father of my wife Baoming's baby. As it grows in her belly, I have trouble sleeping. I must put this matter to rest. Hire someone to find out. Tell me about it. The maid I hired to gain my wife Baoming's confidence has not found anything at all suspicious about her pregnancy. I am more spies. The spies I hired at great expense to discover anything suspicious about my wife Baoming and her pregnancy have failed to turn up anything at all. I guess the child must be mine then, huh? Man, we are becoming a very envious, suspicious, stressed out man. That can't be good for our health, eh? There you go, we actually have a son. Zhong Yanbo. Welcome to the world, my friend. Hope you're gonna be... Oh my god. He's clearly not my child. That's clearly not my child. That's the guy. That's a Persian portrait. That is clearly not my child. Oh my god, I'm actually so mad. That is like actually genuinely not my child. I can promise you the following. I will be taking care of our son. Air quotes around the word son. Now, that being said, I want to thank the members of the channel, namely the Barons Aaron, Stefan, the Richest T, Snywolf, Thomas, Mitchell, MFW, Florian Dan, the Murcielago, Jacob, Rex Romanorum, Falling Phoenix, Eterna, and Charlie. Then, of course, also the accounts Shifty, Wombat, Kazen, and Lachlan. And last but not least, the absolutely beautiful Dukes, Suspicious Duck, Nathan, Jack, Kenneth, Lexto, Goodfield, Eric, Aiden, and Kiriana. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. It means the world to me because this is indeed what keeps it running, and I will see you all later. Alligator.